I want to go over this one investment fund called AGQ, double leverage silver. And I'm not saying you shouldn't keep physical silver, because I think physical silver should be your main play. Right now, I'm kind of kicking myself because silver went up 20%. And, I should have went hard into AGQ and dumped it. Took a gain of almost 40%, right? That would have been smart. Of course, hindsight is 20/20. But I started thinking about, well, there's really no danger of margin rate increase at this time. And, if it starts getting up near 50, I'm going to be afraid to buy this AGQ at that time. Because I think, they're going to raise margins, or it really would have had a good gain. But I almost think that things are starting to get back into the bull market for silver. And there was something else I was looking at that I didn't buy a lot of this. I just bought some. But you know why I look at it? If you buy some, different areas, as soon as you make gains, you dump them, you're okay. That's the one way to do it. And I did buy some crude oil around 96.50 yesterday. And I was going to buy more if it dropped. And yesterday, when I was looking at crude oil going down, silver was going up quite a bit. And I'm thinking to myself, I know they don't move together exactly, but they kind of do. In Lazy One, they're not going to separate in totally different directions, usually for very, very long. So I started thinking, if crude oil keeps dropping, I'll buy a little more crude oil because I think it'll spring back. But lo and behold, it went up and the silver dropped. To me, to my thinking, is that that could be more bullish for silver because, maybe crude oil, that was a low. Maybe it's going to bounce from there. And I do think that the silver prices are still very low at $33.50, around what it was today. And it's going to spring back probably in a couple months. It's going to start kicking in due to the other reasons I said about the elections coming up. So I put a small amount into AGQ. Now I want to go over this fund a little bit because it's called double leverage. So what happens is it works on a daily basis. And this is actually what it says here. This fund, AGQ, is not an investment company regulated under the Investment Company Act of 1940. It is not afforded its protections. Please read the prospectus carefully before investing. Well, I used it before and it works. And Ultra Pro shares ETFs seek a return that is 2 times the return of an index or other benchmark target for a single day. And that's the key thing, for a single day. Over a period of time, say for instance silver went up 20%, you're not going to get 40% more on your AGQ. It's going to be a little less because it kind of does erode after a while, and I'll give you an idea how it works. This, say for instance, silver spot price today was $33.50. AGQ is around $60 today for a share. So say it goes up to 34, 1.49%, and you double the percentage for that day. But as you run the numbers, just even over these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, say about 6 days, about a week. Say for instance silver gained 4.48%. AGQ would not do 8.96%, double this, it would do 8.91%. And actually over a period of time, say for instance silver doubled, you're probably going to get a little over 3 times on the AGQ. That's if you bet right, if it doesn't crash. Because remember, it's double levers, it works, it's a two-edged sword. But in any case, it kind of erodes. That's the way it works. But I think it's a fairly safe bet right now. Nothing safe. But that, I did place some money on this, and I just wanted to point out how it works. And that's what I'm doing right now. Well, I didn't put a lot on it though. And if I gain about, silver goes up 5%, and I got about a 9.5% gain on AGQ, I'll dump it. That's what I'll do. I'll just dump it. Just take the little bit of change and hell with it. That's what I'll do. And I think right now it looks like silver's getting a little bit more bullish. I could be wrong. You might have to hold out, but still, for all I know, if I hold out, I might decide, to wait till silver goes up 20%, and maybe AGQ might have about a 32% gain on the fund. I'd say approximately, because you do know it does erode. It does erode. You can see this 4.48% that the spot price increased in about a week did not go to double on AGQ. It went to a little bit less. Double would be 8.96%. It went to 8.91%. It doesn't erode as extremely bad as some people think. But it's not a fund. Well, if you know that something's going to be an extremely hard bull market over the next 6 months, you actually had, somebody, some kind of premonition that you knew this for absolute fact, you would want to hold this fund. Definitely. Actually, you probably want to play options. I don't like options. But you're not going to lose out 100% on this fund unless, the whole financial system blows up or something. And it is not bad. If you think silver's going to go up hard, this isn't a bad fund to use. And I went in here hard one time, and I got gains of well over 200%. So I made some money back in 2010 off this damn thing. And that's why I kind of like it. And I do like these pro shares, but you got to watch, the fund. The pro share is not an investment company regulated under the Investment Act of 1940, is not afforded its protections. Please read the prospectus carefully before investing. And the way this thing works mathematically, it's not as terrible as some people think it is, because it doesn't give you exactly double, like from start to beginning. If you're looking at the spot price, it's not going to give you double the percentage that the spot price moved over a month or 6 months or 3 months. It does it each day, and that in effect kind of erodes the cumulative percentage gains you're going to get, but not by an extreme amount. This is a decent fund to mess with if you don't like options, which I don't like, because it's not a win or lose. And the way I think at this particular time, I'm going to kind of repeat my logic on that. But I don't know if this is good logic, because just the fact that I saw crude oil spring back up today makes me think that silver could possibly spring back up again. It could. Within next week, it could be a little bit of a higher high than it was this week. Now, if crude oil drops like through stone, maybe that would be silver too. I'll just hold on to the AGQ. It's not going to erode that super fast as some people think. You might want to hold on to it a couple months. But if you're taking 10% gains or 20% gains off of all these little bits, that makes a lot of money. Believe me, that makes a lot of money. You got to look at every little stupid thing. But if I get a 10% gain on this damn thing next week, I don't expect to. But if that happens, say silver went up 5% or something, and this thing went up 10%, I'll sell it. I'll sell it. I just think there's no margin rate increases on the horizon right now, and I'd rather do this than have it sit in cash. I think this is a decent play, but you might have to wait. But I also want to point out it erodes a little bit. Your percentage gains erodes. That's assuming silver's in a bull market. I don't think it's going to pull back to like 26 and 25. I don't buy that shit. I don't buy that at all. I mean, there's people out there might be saying that. I don't think so. If that was the case, I'd be wrong on physical silver too. I'd be wrong on everything. I don't think it's going to do that. I got to go with what I think it's going to do. I think it's going to go up. Might not next week, but like I said, this fund does not erode as fast as some people think. So it's not a bad fund to use. But do read the perspective. And I just want to say I put a little bit of money into this, so I think it might be all right. But like I said, if it gains next week, silver went up this much next week. When I hit 35, this thing's gone. That's the way I look at it. So, but I might have to wait a lot longer than that. But in any case, like I said, it's not that bad. Don't be afraid to play the paper markets all the time. That's my point. But do what you want. Everybody makes their own decision. This is mine. I figured I want to share it. I don't think this fund is that bad.